Lionel Messi ain't bad, eh? He missed a penalty, but then he made up for it. Lovely opening goal. Second goal would come later on. These were the celebrations all around the world. Lionel Messi fans, of course, in all four corners of the globe, as he becomes the top goal scorer in the history of the World Cup, contributing to Argentina's 2-0 victory over Austria. Most matches played, most minutes played, most tournaments played, most goals, most opposition scored against, most goal contributions, most matches won, most player of the tournament awards. It's not bad, is it, for Lionel Messi, who did it once again, Jan?
Well, I'm in Austria. I worked in the studio today, and they played Austria.
Yeah.
And you know, after the game, Ralf Rangnick, all the players, they said, "Why did they lose the game?" Lionel Messi, Lionel Messi, Lionel Messi. He's just walking around. He's looking like he's like in a jungle. He's like a lion, just looking there. Where can I go? Which space? I mean, this guy is. I mean, is there a word that can describe him? I tried in the studio to compare him with Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, the composer from Salzburg, who was a genius, who had his operas in his head. He didn't have to write them down. I mean, this man is a genius. I mean, whatever you say. I mean, when I talked to my dad, he said, yeah, I saw Pelé. What a player he was. I will tell my grandchildren about a guy called Lionel Messi, because he is turning in to be the best ever.
It's pretty cool. Even for you, it's got to be cool.
Yeah, and he's still got that ability to find space. Sometimes it's by allowing the opposition to have the ball and he'll just walk into space. Why teams don't go and pick him up while they're in possession, I'm never quite sure. But when it comes to him, defenders get tight, he can play one touch. He's clever with his one-touch passing. He's very aware of what's around him. And then when he does get the space, his technique is so good, and his understanding where the space is and how to bend balls around defenders and score goals. He's just an outstanding footballer, both with his technique but also with his brain.
It's scary to witness. It really is. I'll speak for myself here. My concern with Lionel Messi coming into this tournament is 3.5 years on from Argentina winning it. He's, of course, 3.5 years older. You saw him in the Club World Cup last summer against European opposition, and while he was good, he was not this good. And then all of a sudden, you see him in this Argentina shirt, where it really matters. And I think where Lionel Messi and Argentina look different from 3.5 years ago is there is not that pressure of we have to deliver a World Cup for Lionel Messi, or Lionel Messi needs to win that World Cup to convince doubters like me, and is playing with a freedom. And now all of a sudden, this Argentina team, Lionel Messi, of course, at the center of it, are putting in performances that I certainly did not expect, and I think is or should be worrying to everybody else in the tournament.
I went on SportsCenter before the start of this tournament saying, don't worry about Argentina, write them off. They're old, Messi's past it, don't even have them in your bracket going very far. What a kiss of death that was.
Well, yeah, but I think there are 2 points to take out of this, because first of all, the very positive thing about Argentina, it's not just that they're looking for Messi, which is not a bad guy to look for, because he will always deliver. But is there something about the way they make it automatically, the things they do? The first goal, they just let a ball go. They wait for Messi, and Messi comes up and he sees that the goalkeeper, Schlager, is on his wrong foot. And he has seen that 5 seconds ago. But another fact today, and I have to speak for my Austrian friends, before the first goal, there was a big foul on Schlager.
Yes.
That goal should not have been given. And but VAR and that situation didn't, I mean, you will probably end up Argentina winning anyway. They missed the penalty. They were the better team, but that is also a fact. But doesn't take anything away from Messi. If you see the whole attack on the second goal, where Messi is starting everything, his movements, his touches, his awareness where the ball ends. It's like he sees. I mean, chess player, call him whatever you want. I mean, he just sees things much earlier than any other player on this planet.
So, at the start of the tournament, you had France, Spain, England, Portugal, Brazil, Argentina. According to the bookies, that was the order. Where are Argentina in that order after these opening 2 matches, in your opinion, Shane?
Right now, I think second. I still have France.
Behind France?
I still have France as my favourites. I put Argentina second. You touched on it earlier, and you saw it in Spain's first game without Lamine Yamal, how decidedly average they look.
Yes.
Through that first game, and then, of course, put things right second time around. And that's my concern around Spain. Their reliance, if not over-reliance, on a Lamine Yamal. And while
Could you argue, obviously, Argentina?
absolutely, you could. But right now, Lamine Yamal comes into this tournament carrying a bit of an injury, so there's that little bit of an asterisk around will he last the entire tournament. I just feel, and while Spain maybe are recognizing that pressure around Lamine Yamal, around their delivery, Argentina just play with house money. And are just enjoying this tournament and putting in performances that, I certainly did not expect. And which is why I have them where they are, because they're on a kind of no-lose trajectory. They can do as it comes in this tournament.
Where would you have them in my beautiful rankings?
I'd have them second as well.
Really?
And I was with you right at the start of the season. Somebody asked me, were Brazil better than Argentina? I think, yeah, they are, because Argentina are 4 years older. They can't rely on Messi anymore. Surely he's not going to be the player that he was or has been for so many years. So, and they're working so hard. They look confident. They move the ball around well. They work around Messi. They know that he's not going to go and defend, so they have a shape that allows them to drift out to that side of the field when he's not defending. But when the ball's in front of them, they lock teams down one side, they get aggressive, they win it back, and that's when Messi comes back into play. It's not in their general build-up when they're building up from the back. He comes into play when they win the ball back, and that's what they've done well so far.
Second best team in this World Cup, Jan?
Well, did you see them? Did you see when they walked out before the game? You had Messi at the front, and then behind him, Martinez, Romero. They look like a film. It's like the big star is coming out, and around him is the soldiers.
It's like walking to the studio with me.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just walking out there, and they all are there to protect the jewelry in Messi. And I think that this balance of his brilliancy, we knew about that, but that it also fit. Look at Romero, Lisandro Martinez. You can say whatever you want. They have a small team at the back. They won every header. I mean, I said before the game that maybe set pieces could be a good thing for Austria. They didn't give a chance. And they were like the smallest defenders around, and they're winning everything. So that attitude, I have them up there. We'll see what happened. We're talking about some teams have been depending on their Yamal for Spain. But, I mean, what happened if something happened to Messi?
Do you play Messi in the third game, Jan?
Pardon?
Do you play Messi in the third game?
I think we will talk more about that when Mbappe will play Haaland in a game that doesn't count for anybody. I think they will love to play. Yeah. There's something called the Golden Boot, two words, and they will love to play. They never go off, don't they?
But big picture, you've already qualified. You're okay.
No, I think all those three players will play.
Really?
I think they will, because they want to score goals. They're not Messi's not somebody who works that hard. So the only worry about is he gets challenged in a bad tackle.
But why even risk that?
Because he wants to carry on. The word momentum. He wants to go and be the best player in the world. Or he is the best player in the world. But he wants to go and score another couple of goals. He wants to have the best World Cup he possibly can have.
Right.
I'll agree in that Mbappe and Haaland want to score goals. And there's this golden boot race that's on. Messi, for all the records that he holds, he never seems to be chasing records. And we often describe Messi as having this kind of childlike quality about playing the game. And I feel that while in the third game, common sense is rest Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi says to Scaloni, I want to play.
Yeah.
Because when have you ever seen him be taken off? He's never taken off. Right. Barcelona, he played all the time.
He just wants to play, and it's kind of it's childlike, but so refreshing.
But shouldn't a manager take charge of that and manage his minutes because of his age?
Tells if Lionel Messi says to Lionel Scaloni?
We're calling Roberto Martinez a chicken for not having the ability to take Cristiano.
You're taking him off for a different reason. We're talking about taking Ronaldo off because he's not playing well. You're talking about taking Messi off for resting him. And Messi saying, I don't need the rest because I don't run around. I don't go and close people down. Give me the ball and I'll make something happen.
Lionel Messi ain't bad, eh? He missed a penalty, but then
Argentina 2-0 winners over Austria with Lionel Messi, the star of the show. Again, Messi's 17th World Cup goal made him the competition's record scorer, and for good measure, he added another in stoppage time as well. Messi's second goal setting off wild celebrations at a watch party in Miami, his new home. He's found the back of the net in 6 straight World Cup matches. That equals an all-time record. Player profile, sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. Messi now all alone at the top of the World Cup scoring charts after surpassing Miroslav Klose today. He is 4 above Kylian Mbappe, who's in action a little bit later on. So the 2 players who duelled in the last World Cup final could end this summer as the top 2 on this list. And what a sideshow that is, by the way, to the main event. Welcome you inside our studio on this Monday. Alexi Lala, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Thierry Henry. I'm Rebecca Lowe. We're going to talk Messi in just a minute, but let's show you the story of the game and how it all went down there in Dallas, because Messi came into it tied for most World Cup goals of all time. Would he break it? Would he break it around now? Let's see.
Well, let's see here. Lautaro Martinez is going to get taken down here by Post and play on, right? Well, hold on a second. Not so fast. We have VAR. It gets checked. Referee says, oh, wait, clear and obvious. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. The guys upstairs say, yeah, it's a penalty. He agrees, and it is a penalty. So who's stepping up for history? This is it. This is the moment, the great one. Oh, my goodness. That wasn't in the script. But you know what? Messi says, I like drama. I like theater. I'm not going to do it in the run of play. I'm going to save myself for later.
After missing the penalty, here comes the moment. Free kick or not, was not the moment I'm going to talk about. You see Messi sneaking up from behind, and they're just waiting for him. Back pass, let it go through the legs, and here comes the moment where he breaks the record. Looks easy, but it's not easy. Messi makes it look easy.
This is the foul in the lead-up. Foul?
50-50. Good ball and good finish here.
50-50, we give the benefit of the doubt to Messi.
Nobody's going to remember the foul.
Remember Messi, don't worry.
Okay, then on 55, yeah.
Great opportunity by Austria here. A good free kick from Zabitzer, but good save from Martinez. Not enough, but good power on the shot. And then we have set piece from Messi, good header by Gonzalez, but almost is not good. Good opportunity.
Still 1-0 at this point.
Yes, and in the same guy that you mentioned, Zlatan Nico Gonzalez having a great opportunity here, turning Denso inside out, but then Denso did recover well here to block the shot, as you're going to see here. The ball is going to bounce. That's a great move, bringing the ball back inside, but Denso was alert, and another block to stop Argentina scoring. And then here, Denso again, passing the ball to Patrick Wemer. And then we all thought that maybe, especially in that angle, that the ball was going to go in, but as you can see here, it was well wide. And then Messi. Again, see, he lets the ball breathe a bit. Here you can argue the fact that maybe, as you're going to see here, he asks for the ball, he goes into the path of the player. Once you do that, then you got to score, because when you score, you're always right. Boom, ball goes in the back of the net. Nobody can complain. Everyone can celebrate. 2-0 Argentina, 5 goals Argentina, not conceding 5 goals Messi. I mean, it's just, yeah, but I mean, that's just...
Another player would shoot there, but...
That's a normal day at the office for him. Once again. Here I was scared because you see the connection there, knee, when he did celebrate, he was kind of limping. I was kind of, for Argentinian, see what was happening. But look, once again, he delivered.
He certainly did. Messi Monday, we called it before the show, and it has lived up to that billing. Just a reminder for you, because it's so important to take a second when it comes to Lionel Messi. He turns 39 years of age in 2 days' time. That's on Wednesday. As Thierry said, 5 goals in 2 games now. Every goal scored by Argentina at this World Cup because of Messi. 18 goals now, the most in World Cup history. 28 appearances, the most in World Cup history. Zlatan, it was never in doubt, was it?
It was never in doubt. I mean, you have moments where he looks human by missing the penalty, Then you have the moments when he doesn't look human. That's Messi. Messi is, so far it's his World Cup, and he didn't play against Jordan yet. So I don't know where it will finish. 5 goals in 2 games. I have 0 goals in 2 World Cups. So I'm happy. I'm happy for him, and I hope he continues. His birthday is in a couple of days, so let him enjoy, because we are all enjoying him by seeing him play. So amazing, just amazing, no words.
I have to pick both of your brains because you know him so well, having played with him. Thierry, what will he be like today, having broken that record? I mean, he's broken so many in his career, but what kind of personality is he responding to this kind of history-making moment?
He's feeling like this every day. So.
You know that first and foremost, this guy doesn't chase records. Records chase him. That's I don't know how he does that. I don't know how he made it happen. And something I don't know who's in charge of putting words in a dictionary, but they should put his name as out of the norm. Then you have Messi. Whoever is in charge, do that. Put his name in a dictionary, and that's it. But no, he always wants more, and that's always going to be the case. He's the same. Cristiano Ronaldo is the same. Kylian Mbappé is the same. This guy on Malef was the same. Whoever, you want the same when you work. But one thing that's different is he won it. You can see there's not the same pressure. He's playing the World Cup now with joy, he's very relaxed. I don't know if it's going to be, well, it looks like everyone thinks it's going to be his last one. So when you're at the end of your career and you know that is your last ever thing, you go about it differently. You try to tend to enjoy every single moment that you're going to have. And you see that through his celebration, through the way he is. He knows when he has to kill, when he has to rest. It's just outstanding. I think he should be at the top of his list, even in front of him.
Maybe today, yes.
He has to be. Come on.
I will think about it.
Just for 1 hour.
Depends how they finish.
Okay,
right.
We'll assess King of the Jungle, see if Messi makes it to the top at any point. Lex, there was a school of thought coming into this World Cup that maybe playing in the United States, he wasn't at the level of previous World Cups, of previous iterations of himself. I think he might have proved that wrong.
I mean, well, how many times do we need a lesson that doubt him at your own peril? And yes, he has grown, and yes, he has lost here and there. But we've seen him in Major League Soccer, what he has done. And I know there's some people that say, well, that's a problem. Well, he obviously hasn't missed a beat. And I think it's also relative to this particular team that he is playing with. He is an alien. He is not from this world. And every player that walks into a team will suss out the hierarchy and suss out what they need and where they need to fit. I think every player on this Argentinian squad, whether they're in the starting 11 or not, recognizes that when they are on that field, there are 9 players that are doing absolutely everything they possibly can because they know there is a payoff. And so when you talk about Messi wandering and walking around, that's okay, but it's all because he knows when to show up, and it's because he has the other 9 players that will do all of the work, gladly do all of the work, because they know that when it comes right down to it, he is going to provide magical moments.
So the defending World Cup champions, Argentina, off to the round of 32. They become the 4th nation to advance following Mexico, the United States, and Germany. Rob Stone, Clarence Sador, Peter Schmeichel, back here with you.
I know we have to look that way, but
everything's back there. Yeah, everything is that way, including the crowd. And Lionel Messi, a hat trick in the opener, 2 more today, and we're starting to run out of words to describe him. We need another dictionary just so we can properly put in context what we're witnessing from that man right there, a GOAT who is just days shy of his 39th birthday.
It's a difference, isn't it? The difference between winning a football game and not winning a football game. Because you can argue that Austria for very long periods of time had this game under control. Then of course they go 1-0 down. That leaves, in Argentina, they played that result. But this guy turning up at the right moment, scoring the goals that he's scoring, the second goal, the determination to put that ball in the back of the net. I mean, my God, he is just so good. And what a great honor, by the way, Clarence, to be here again watching.
It's a privilege, Peter, to be able to witness it live.
is happening every time we see this guy. Actually, the question is, does he have any intention to stop? Because that last goal says so much about his ambition still. He's hungry. He was more hungry than all the other players looking at the ball at that time. That says everything about his mentality.
Let me just remind you that before the Algeria game, you said this was going to be his last World Cup.
Yeah, and I hope not. But you know, the logics would say that this would be.
But he's not running himself out, is he? He's not running about, really. He's taking a lot of breaks.
But he's on a different level, Peter. His reading of the match, when he needs to be activated, when he needs to help in defense, when he can just rest and just walk, you know, it's brilliance all the time. And the first touch on that last goal, the long ball, I hope we can see that again.
Bob, you know, we can argue on the first goal that it's a free kick in the build-up to it. But my feeling is that had they taken it back, given that away, then Messi would still have come up with something during that game, and that result would still have been the same.
Just look at this reaction. Messi and his teammates arm in arm in front of their chief cheering section. I think you hit on a really important point. The joy, the happiness, the excitement in his goals. Not that that's unique, but we saw real fist bumps, real happiness. You saw him after that second goal, high-fiving photographers as he was going by. The spark in the fire, it's still there.
It's absolutely there, Rob. And I think the difference, what I'm seeing from this World Cup in Qatar, is there was some kind of heaviness on that in Qatar. You know, he never won it yet, so all the focus was he needs to still show that he can win a World Cup. Well, that's gone now.
Of when he needs to run, when he needs to dribble, when he doesn't need to. This is, you know, conserving his energy, playing exactly the right amount for him within this game. You see all over, as you say, walking at times, but then the runs come and they're very rarely wasted.
He gets alive. It's like we've seen few actions when defending, he's walking around the pitch, but even in the second goal, he's walking and he's in a position after the block from Paredes to come the ball straight to him.
Sorry, magnet man.
But that's why I think we spoke quite a few times about rest defense. When you are attacking, Austria were attacking, he was completely alone, and then they allowed him to turn, and we know how dangerous.
So you want to enjoy this one. You're on the graphic with Lionel Messi. This is most World Cup goals over the age of 35, and Olivier, you make it on there, just behind Roger Miller of Cameroon, of course. 4 and 5 for you two, now 12 for Messi, which is remarkable out of his 18. And actually, he's scored more World Cup goals after the age of 35, 12 in total, than Cristiano Ronaldo, Thierry Henry, Maradona, Rivaldo, Neymar and Harry Kane in their whole careers, never mind, you know, kind of over the age of 35. It is, you know, we talked about it ad nauseum at the beginning about how he's done this and how he's managed to actually kind of flourish almost more into the later years of his career in terms of his Argentina shirt and the World Cup stage. There is obviously, this World Cup has got more over 40-year-olds and more late.
Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Oh, we had the rain delay. Robbo had a little sleep, didn't you, Robbo? Definitely.
No, I didn't.
Definitely,
no,
there was a closing
not
of the
during the rain
eyes.
delay. I had a sleep in between the shows I was meant to do, which was one at 12 o'clock this morning and the next one at 2 o'clock.
Where did you have that sleep?
Watching these big screens, but there was nothing on the big screens at the time.
And were you just alone in the room?
I was alone in the room.
And you had a little sleep a couple of days ago as well.
Well, let me tell you, I got home last night to the hotel at 12:30. For some reason, I can't sleep. I didn't sleep from 12:30 to 6 o'clock. I thought I'd better go to the gym. So I went to the gym, had my breakfast, and then went back to bed for 2 hours, and then had to come to work.
5 hours? You were just in your room going, I should be asleep.
Well, that's what.
Is it just the adrenaline of the great shows that you do?
I'm an insomniac, which is not a good thing to be.
See, but then notice there, he said I got home to the hotel. That's kind of like the we thing. I wonder how
Well, it's been 2.5 weeks. It's my home now.
Mrs. Robson thinks, oh, you're living elsewhere now.
She'd like it to be the case.
Home, is it?
Robert just declared he's an insomniac, like it was it's serious. I'm an insomniac. You know,
I can't get to sleep.
I sleep at work.
If you look it up, it's quite serious.
No, what is? Have you tried? What are you trying to do to help yourself get to sleep? Listen to the show. That would help.
Well, I listen to you.
What were you going to suggest there? Have you tried? Have you tried? And then you stop yourself.
No, I haven't.
Oh boy.
I've tried medication. Doesn't work.
Is it because you're just kind of switched on? Like you've just.
But everything that they say is the opposite to me. So I have to have the curtains open. When they say you want it pitch black, as soon as it's pitch black, then I start thinking about it.
Really? Wow.
So I have to have the curtains open. I go to sleep more when the television's on.
Right.
And as soon as the television gets turned off,
yes,
I wake up. It's bizarre. Oh, there
really?
we go. There, bizarre character.
Wow.
So I do everything opposite to what they will tell you to do.
Right. And you're sitting next to the man who could fall asleep anywhere. He fell asleep at a World Cup.
But I can sleep.
I did not fall asleep. I did not fall asleep. Oh God!
Incredible.
He makes that. What he does, he gets on his phone like this, and then he drops off, doesn't he?
Oh,
right. Okay.
God.
Is playing out at the back worth it if teams are not at the top of their game? We saw this in the Iraq game against France.
No, absolutely not.
Stop playing out from the back.
I don't get this. I really don't.
And I'm not sure what the purpose of it is sometimes. You know,
Yes.
the whole purpose, when I was taught as a youngster and when they were trying to get away from long ball football, was that you were trying to get better quality into the front players. Still get it to them quickly, but you were trying to build it up the field so when it was played into the front players, they weren't fighting for balls around their chest, they were getting it rolled into them. Now they play it round the back and play. I'm not sure what the purpose of it is sometimes. You know, do it for the sake of it.
I'm trying to remember which game I was watching yesterday. Goalkeeper would play it out to the wing back played back to the goalkeeper, and he would just launch it.
Yeah. Right.
Because now it gets the forwards kind of coming forward, so it provides more room further on. But they were not trying to pass out the back. They just like, hey, come on down, and we just launch it. I'm like, perfect. I don't know why you try to do a whole lot more than that.
The worst thing.
What happens when you're at home with Mrs. Robson? Do you have curtains? Do you like she's asleep? You're like, way!
Well, there's the problem.
Put on the stereo.
There's the problem.
On the TV.
There's the problem. She wants it pitch black, so we have to have it pitch black, because I always do what she says. Of course I do.
So you're just lying there?
So, yeah, I'm just lying there and I think about things. Then I get up and go downstairs for a little while and go on the computer to try and do some work. I try and get work done. So if I've got to do work, I think, well, rather than when I haven't got time during the day, I'll get it done now.
Oh, wow.
Which people will say, well, now you're getting light from the thing.
Yeah.
But that starts to get my eyes to go tired. I'll try and go back to bed and try and get to sleep. And then think, it's not happening, so I'll go back down again, watch a bit of telly. Start to go to sleep, go back upstairs into bedroom, and then wake up again.
And if any insomniacs are watching, they could just listen to that and put them to sleep.
Oh dear.
That's ideal.
I'm glad I've spoken to you. I've tried to open up and tell you my problems, and I thought you'd be, a Samaritan, but no, not at all.
But it just all makes sense now as to why you're so grumpy.
I don't think I'm grumpy, Dan. You know full well. Sarcastic and try and wind you up, but not grumpy.
Since Martinez is going to start Ronaldo anyway, should he start João Felix too? The two spent all year together with JF setting up Cristiano Ronaldo and leading the league in assists. Could that partnership help get the most out of Ronaldo? This is, of course, in the Saudi Arabian league.
You need to have legs around Ronaldo. If you do start Ronaldo, you need to have legs around him. I'm not sure that João Felix is the one you rely on to cover Ronaldo's ground.
And all the players they've got in the team, they're all been brilliant players for all season. João Felix, as we saw in La Liga for 2 or 3 seasons, he just didn't perform.
Yeah.
He had 1 or 2 good games. He went on loan to Barcelona, didn't perform there, couldn't get in the team. When he was at Atleti, couldn't get in their team. So I don't think he gets in this Portuguese team.
The last 2 questions are the same questions, really. Who will end up as the outright highest goal scorer by the end of the World Cup, and who finishes with the Golden Boot? So let's go for it. Obviously, Messi is on 5, Mbappe's on 4, Haaland's on 4.
Well, I think France are going to win the World Cup.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Mbappe.
Mbappe?
I concur for the same exact reason.
Will he break the record as well?
What did you wink at before, Dan?
Because I'm thinking. I was thinking.
Is that a little twitch?
Yeah, no, when he's thinking, half his brain shuts down.
So Messi's on 18, Mbappe's on 16.
Yeah, no, I think they'd be fairly close, but I think
Mbappe's now one behind because
he matched Ronaldo's on 15.
I feel he was
16.
3 behind after the Argentina game.
Right.
I think.
Okay. Yes.
And then obviously scored 2.
So Mbappe.
If we could just have a producer coming out here and tell us.
No, he's gone home.
Oh, he's like,
he fell asleep.
There's no insomniac on producer.
He's an Arsenal supporter, better, isn't he? So you be careful. You don't want to upset anybody.
Coming from you. ESPN FC. What time are you in tomorrow? Are you? Julian Alvarez came on as a second-half substitute, but it was his post-match interview which has caused headlines, particularly in Spain. Asked about his future, I don't think it's the right moment to talk. Get ready for this. I don't want to hide. I tried to be an honest person. I spoke with the people at Atletico who I needed to speak with. I think the best thing for everyone is a transfer. I want to fulfill my dream. Atleti responded, get ready, there is no amount of money to which Barca can buy Julian. He will not be transferred to Barcelona. Either they pay the release clause, 500 million euros, or there is no deal. We've already seen how Barcelona operates in the past, such as when Atleti were preparing for their Champions League tie against Juventus, and Barca were promising commissions to Griezmann's sister, his family, and the player himself. For more on this, to weigh in on the soap opera, Alex Kirkland is here. Very much a new twist. It's the first time we've heard Julian Alvarez say officially he wants out, Alex.
Exactly, Dan. He hadn't been explicit about wanting to leave until this point. He sort of did a dance all of last season where he wouldn't say he wanted to go and he wouldn't say he wanted to stay either. There was that one famous quote from him during the season when he was asked about his future and he said, "What do I know?" And you kind of think, well, if you don't know, who does? But he's come out now and made this statement. Now, he's still left some doubts there. Because like you said, he said, I want to fulfill my dream. I think the reporter in the mix zone didn't quite hear him, didn't get to follow up and say, well, what exactly is your dream? We understand it's Barcelona. The problem that Barcelona have got is that, as you say, Atleti are not happy with them. They've already come out publicly, on social media and criticised them about the way they've conducted themselves in this pursuit. And the other big problem that Barca have got is that Real Madrid, remember, very publicly and mischievously made this 150 million euro bid for Julian, which was rejected. That sort of set the standards of what the kind of money that they've rejected already is. And so Barca aren't going to get Julian for less than that, but Barca can't reach that sort of level anyway. So I think we're going to see a standoff. I think it's going to be a long summer. I think prepare yourself. This is a saga that's going to run and run because, like I say, Barca can't afford that sort of money. They were thinking something like 100 million, and Atleti have already rejected publicly 150. So let's see where this goes. Let's see how far it goes. Let's see if Julian, gets back after the World Cup and goes back to training, or we've seen this before in these kind of standoffs, refuses to train. All these sort of possibilities are out there because right now it's hard to see exactly what the way out is.
Alex, this can't be the first time that Barcelona have heard the news that Alvarez wants to leave. So given that, why sign Anthony Gordon?
Yeah, I think this, in terms of Barca, I think this is almost, and this is why Atleti are so annoyed, a kind of a coordinated, the latest step in trying to make this move happen. First they registered their interest, Atleti came out and responded. Now it's, the next step is the player comes out and says, I want to go. And then we take it from there and we keep trying to increase the pressure and keep trying to make this happen. Like you said, they spent big on Gordon. That was a bit of a surprise how much money they were willing to spend on Gordon. Of course, not the same kind of profile as Julian, not quite the same position, although they can play in the same position. Julian can play out wide. Gordon can play through the middle. Really, Gordon's more of a winger. Julian's more of a centre forward. But you're right, that's certainly, spending that money on Gordon, committing that money to Gordon has restricted them a little bit in terms of what else they can do. They've still got significant money to spend potentially, I think, but maybe not the kind of money it would take to get Julian.
Alex, we've seen Griezmann leave and come back. He was forgiven by the fans. We've seen fans burning Julian Alvarez T-shirt. That's very productive, isn't it? Today, is there a chance that he can be forgiven by the supporters?
I think it's a different relationship though, because the relationship with Griezmann was much longer, and the fans actually have been pretty patient with Julian. I think he underperformed last season. He delivered in moments, but not consistently. And the fans, they stuck with him. They were patient, despite the fact that he wasn't committing his future publicly to the club. They kept supporting him. I think they'll be deeply, deeply unhappy with what he's come out and said now. Griezmann, look, that process took time. You know, even when he came back, and he came back, like I say, more of a club legend than Julian is, because he'd been there longer, scored more goals, delivered more on the pitch for Atleti. Even that for Griezmann took some time. Some fans had to be won over. Remember when Griezmann left at the end of the season, you know, Griezmann came out again in his last big speech on the pitch and apologised once again for leaving. You know, that shows how deep sort of the scars were of that whole saga. Julian hasn't got nearly as much credit in the bank as Griezmann. I think it would be more like nothing's impossible in football because we see these things happen all the time. But I think it would be really quite difficult, I think, for Julian to win back the sort of affection that Griezmann did.
Alex, I'm thinking of the player power that there seems to be more maybe now. Last season, the big talking point was Isak going to Liverpool. Similar sort of theme in La Liga as well.
Yeah, and Atleti are furious. You know, talking to ESPN colleagues tonight, they are deeply unhappy with Barca. There have been some suggestions they might even look at, you know, reporting Barca to FIFA for their pursuit of Julian, because they feel like, and they made this very public. Remember all those tweets that Atleti put out when the interest was first kind of made public a few weeks ago? And Atleti are really unhappy with the way that Barca have conducted themselves. Atleti are in this difficult position, a big club, huge club, big fan base, very successful, but still next to Real Madrid and Barca, they don't have the same kind of power, the same kind of appeal, and they still lose some of their best players to Barca. And like I say, you know, it was really played out on social media with those tweets that Atleti put out when this interest was first registered, but just displaying how annoyed they were but like I say, they've had to kind of deal with this over the years. You mentioned the Griezmann case. There are other cases as well. They have lost their best players. It was shown as well with, you know, when Real Madrid came in and made that bid and how they responded as well. It's the position that they find themselves in terms of the hierarchy, I think, in the La Liga.
Alex, am I being an idiot if I was to suggest this is a lot of fuss over a player who wasn't really great last season?
I would never suggest that you are an idiot, Dan. I would never say that. I wouldn't ever think that.
Yeah.
On
Oh, boy.
But I mean, look, you're right in terms of his performance. You're right. He wasn't great. He had, like I said, he had flashes. He had moments. He got some of the brilliant goals that he scored in big games. But often, yeah, he was underwhelming, and he was a big part of the reason that Atleti in the end couldn't put together a proper challenge for big trophies, because their star player didn't deliver consistently, and Diego Simeone, the coach, defended him time and time again. When that criticism came in, the coach, and like I said, and the fans as well, I think, they stuck with Julian, and that's why I think this will really hurt.
How much of an upgrade is it for Lewandowski, who is veteran past it? He's left, obviously. Julian Alvarez come in to take that role.
He's not as good a finisher as Lewandowski. He's more agile than Lewandowski was in the last two seasons. And can he fit into the role as the out-and-out centre-forward? Because I always think he drifts out into wide areas at times, drops into midfield. But this won't end up well for anybody. No. It never does. You mentioned it perfectly. Isak, last season. Newcastle knew they were eventually going to sell him, but they almost made so he wasn't training. He was saying he wasn't going to train. Yep. Then when he goes to Liverpool, we'll pay over the odds for him. He can't play well because he's unfit. And then when he does play, the crowd are thinking, well, we've just spent a fortune on this player. This will go play on for quite some while, and nobody will come out of it well, unfortunately.
Just a reminder, as we say, thank you very much, Alex. You're in Houston, yeah? Portugal tomorrow?
Yes, in Houston, listen to Roberto Martinez speak just now in a presser and going to the Portugal game tomorrow to see if Cristiano Ronaldo can score some goals. Let's see.
Roberto Martinez, I imagine, said that Cristiano Ronaldo has told me he's starting.
Yes, he defended Cristiano. Shocking development there, yeah.
Thank you very much, Alex. Much appreciated. Just a reminder to keep up to date with all the latest transfer rumours that are coming out of this World Cup. Be sure to go to Transfer Talk over on the website.
All right, everyone. You are welcome. You are here today because you believe you have what it takes to be part of this crew. In a moment, you are going to show what you've got. But I have to be clear.